seen this, but oftentimes there are people that are either new to network marketing, they're new to sales, or maybe they've been around a little while. Maybe they've been doing this 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. And every time they get to the point where the prospect has seen the video, they've seen the presentation, it's time. Like, you know the time I'm talking about, right? It's time. And now it's time for them to make a decision. It's time for you as the leader, you as the business person, you as the one showing what you got to, do the close. Are they open and do they like it, or is this not for them, or what is going on between their ears? So here's what happens. Oftentimes, people will get a couple of different things that might come out. One is us as the presenter, us as the person sharing, us as the person introducing it to them, we might start feeling a little uncomfortable. Now, this has happened to me before. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. If you've ever felt uncomfortable and you're like, okay, now what? So why do we feel uncomfortable sometimes? Well, some people have this preconceived notion that in order to be successful or in order to close or in order to get a sale, that you have to be pushy. And we've seen pushy people, right? We've seen pushy salespeople. Nobody likes to be in the presence of a pushy salesperson. I certainly don't. I'm sure you don't. And so, I think it's a misconception that a lot of people think. They're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to act? So that's one thing. The second thing is oftentimes people feel like they don't want their prospect to feel uncomfortable. Like, it might be a friend, it might be a family member, it might be someone that you go to church with or someone you have a lot of respect for or something like that, and you're like, you don't want it to kind of change anything or get weird. So here's the 2 biggest mistakes that I see people make. We talk a little bit about the mindset, a little bit about what's going on. But what are the things that typically can go down negatively and cause not the result that we're looking for? The first thing is that in order to kind of relieve that pressure, in order to kind of lessen the uncomfortable feeling, the person that's sharing what they have, us, right, the network marketer, they talk incessantly. I don't know if this has ever been you, or maybe you have been the subject of this grave mistake, but the person gets done, they're super excited, of course they want the prospect to join, and what do? They just talk incessantly. They are uncomfortable, and so they think that what they're supposed to do next is talk, and that is not what we want to do, and we're going to talk about why. So if we're doing all the talking, then we don't know what's going on between our prospects' ears, right? And for us to get them moving forward, be it with a yes or be it with a no, whatever, moving forward in some direction, we got to know what they're thinking, right? So us doing all the talking, not going to help us. So that's the first thing. If that's ever happened to you, or maybe you've seen something like that in your team, let them know the right way to do it. And it's not that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, are you guys ready? Drum roll. The second thing is that they ask the wrong questions. Question or questions. They ask the wrong question. Typically, here's the wrong question. So, what did you think? Like, that's the wrong question. Why is that the wrong question? Because if you ask the right questions, you're going to get the right answers. If you ask a non-directed, very open, very broad, very just like it could be anything, then who knows what the prospect is going to say? The person that is in control of the conversation is the one that's asking the right questions. And so what is the right question? Well, let's just talk about this. Let's just lay the cards out on the table. First and foremost, closing shouldn't be a scary thing, and closing shouldn't be a pushy thing, and closing shouldn't be something where you go like to your prospect. No, because if you have to twist their arm to get them in, then you're going to have to keep on, corralling them around to have any kind of a relationship or do anything with them in the business. So here's my version of closing, and you can give me your opinion if you have a thought out opinion. But, my version of closing is helping that person come to a decision that's best for them and their family. If they like what they saw and they're like, oh, this is amazing, I gotta do this, is gonna be awesome, perfect, we know what the answer is. If they're like, I don't know, it's not for me, then it's probably better that they don't join. I mean, it really is, because if we push them in, then we gotta keep on dragging them. And you know what Jim Rohn says, right? He says, you can lead 1,000, but you can't carry 3 on your back. So we don't want to carry anybody. We just want the people that see it for themselves and they're ready to go. They want to be a part of the team. They want to be a part of the family. So the right question, what do we actually ask them? What is the question that we're looking for that's going to help them come to a decision for them and their family? And here's what it is. What did you like best about what you saw? It's not complicated. It's super easy, but a lot of times people leave the focus part out and they just say, what did you think? And so they get a broad answer. So here's our goal. Here's a little bit of sales psychology for you. How are sales made? I want to get your guys' feedback. Are they made based on logic or are they made based on emotion? So my personal belief is, and the science that has been shown is that decisions are made emotionally, right? They're made based on how they feel. They're made based on what they think might happen. It's an emotional thing, right? And so what do is we get emotional buy-in, and then once we have that emotional buy-in, we back it up with facts and figures and logic and all of the things that we need to feel. So we're like, okay, I'm being a responsible adult, right? And so that's how decisions are made. So your goal as the one leading the conversation, the one bringing landing this plane, right? Let's get this thing closed. Your goal is to help them make that right decision for them and their family. So what did you like best about what you saw? Usually a lot of times what I'll ask after that is we want to get them to talk. The more they're talking, the more you know what's going on in between their head, and the more they are going to literally sell themselves as to why they should do this or not do this. Either way, it doesn't matter. We have to also be aware that we don't need to be worried about whether it's a yes or whether it's a no, and how can we make them all yeses? No, that's not reality. That's not life, right? We just need a decision. Good, bad, or indifferent. A decision is all we're looking for. And if you as a network marketer know in your heart, hey, I just need a decision. Yes, it's for you. No, it's not for you. Either way, I don't care because I'm going to go to the top either way. Then it's going to take a lot of pressure off you. It's going to take pressure off your prospect, and it's going to make every party involved feel a little bit better, right? Because there's no pressure. It's just like, hey, if you get it and we're down with it, let's get you with it together. If not, no worries. Do you know somebody that maybe is, ambitious and wanting more out of life, and maybe they would be a good connection, right? So those are the thoughts. And guys, I'd love to hear your feedback. Definitely leave a note in the comment section. Let me know. Now, if you're at a spot in your life and you're like, you know what, this is important. Psychology is good. Knowing the nitty-gritty details about others and even about ourselves. Man, that's important. Then I have something that will help you. I put together something earlier this year called the 10-step process. And this is really for getting some things cleared out of your own way, of whether it's things that have been holding you back, whether it's a lack of focus, whether it's, not sure, knowing exactly what to do. And you're like, I know it's possible. I see people all around me that are rank advancing. They're getting bonus cards. They're winning trips. And you know what? Now it's my turn. Now it's your turn, my friends. And so if that's you and you are finally ready to get to the finish line, you're finally ready to rank advance, you're finally ready to get this thing done, then you can click on the link that's listed here in the description and you enter your email, and then it will unlock this bonus training for you, the 10 steps for finally receiving your breakthrough. So if this added some value to you, drop a comment below if you learned something, maybe about some things that you've seen take place or some things that you've done and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore, but I'm going to do this instead. Drop a note in the comment section. Feel free to share the replay with your organization, and that's it. So take care, be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing, visit summergeronimo.com.